Yes, good evening. We're back with a Celtic Unrestricted View. Hope you are all well, folks. As you can see, it's just myself. Now I know you are all probably feel sorry for me, and I know that you are all wondering where everybody is. Well, as we know, Ryan's getting geared up to go away on holiday, and we've had a wee incident tonight. Unfortunately, that my man joining me tonight, Big Jason, has been unable to make it, folks, due to unforeseen circumstances. He's okay, everything's fine, but he was unable to join me tonight. So, because, again, guys, I'm flying solo, I've decided to come on and have a wee chat for you, just to give you something to tune in as well. I see everybody's comments coming through very, very rapidly, so I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to be able to get through them all one by one. When I catch up eventually, if I do, I will bring you in. But folks, tonight it's a very warm night, so I fully appreciate. Um, I really feel appreciate everyone tuning in with me just now. I really do. I know it's not easy in this heat. I'm actually struggling myself tonight. But 3 or 4 times I've actually had to throw water up on my face, cold water, and yeah, it's a very warm night. So I fully appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, Francis, I've just seen your comment there. At least you'll get a word in tonight. Yeah, mate, definitely. Randy Gray's not he's not with us. So I'll be able to have a wee chat instead. But guys, it's good to see you. I hope you are all well, as I said. And yeah, Craig White Legend, you have made a great comment there, mate. 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. We fully appreciate everyone's support. We really, really do. Um, we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So we totally and Philip. Oh, there he's there. There's our good man, Mr. Gray, has decided to grace us with his presence. Um, I'm afraid, in the working terms, I believe that this is strike two, Andy. So, Big Brother's watching you, mate. Don't worry about it. Skywing away, and aye, Big Brother's watching. This is strike two, and you don't want to get a strike three, mate, because you know what happens after that. So, we'll keep that one private, aye. Good evening, Leo. How are you, mate? It's good to see you. And yeah, I know, mate. It's been absolutely superb. Is Ryan a number two at Celtic? No, he's not. He's not even a number one on here. He might be a number two on here, right enough, but he's definitely not the number one. But aye, Francis, he's hiding in a cupboard. To be fair, but no, like I says, guys, Corvo, nice you to join us, mate. Thank you. The new away top is a belter. I do agree. I'm going to come to that, obviously, as well, because we've announced that today and it's available for pre-order. So, yeah. But, guys, the main reason I'm on, believe it or not, I'm actually not going to mention the fact that Celtic are still looking for a manager, because we've done that. We're by that stage now. We all know what's happening. The main reason I'm actually here is to have a chat with you in terms of looking forward to our international boys, again representing their natives. And now I know maybe international football's not everyone's cup of tea, but I've always grew up a massive Celtic fan, and I'm also a massive Scotland fan. So with Callum McGregor away with Scotland, I I'm looking forward to, especially these games that are coming up for Scotland. Um, Definitely, I'm looking forward to it, guys. Good evening, Johnny boy. Yeah, one man band, mate, as Leo Sayer says. So, yep. I'm afraid it's that's just how it feels to be Celtic, mate. Sometimes you've just got to do it on your Sweeney Todd. But listen, mate, we've been doing this long enough now. You can improvise and you can, you can manage, mate. So we get there. Paul McKee, thank you very much, mate. He says it's the first time on, boys. Hail, 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 Paul. If this is the first time joining us, mate, please hit that subscribe button for us. It's free to do it, mate. So you can you can just click that for us. Even if you don't watch us again, you can still click it. And like I says, if you like the content of the page, and you may be fed up listening to us, there is a section on my YouTube page, mate, on the channel. You just click the wee icon, it takes you into the channel. There's a bit that says playlists. This is for Paul McKee because you're new to the page, mate. So you just click on the playlist bit and you'll see a lot of guest appearances that we've had on this podcast. Guys like Paul Hartley, Adam Virgo, Paul Byrne, Barry Bannon's a really good friend. And yeah, as I say, it's well worth it, mate. Especially if you, like Ryan said the other night, sometimes you guys, you you might want to have a look and have a look at something different. So as you, thanks, Paul. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Plunge. God, you're always moaning, aren't you? You're always moaning about something. JP, can we leave the Scotland chat to Friday? No. No. Just because you said that, I'm just going to do it to annoy you and to wind you up. No, I'm only kidding. I've just mentioned that there, mate, because he's part of the almighty treble winners, and he's a baby Scotland. Obviously we've got the Japanese boys as well. It's Kyogo, Hatate, and Maeda, and yeah, they look sharp. I've seen a couple of the Japanese training videos that have been posted online, and going with what I'm seeing, the boys look sharp. They look as if they're enjoying themselves. I seen a training goal that Kyogo scored today. Unbelievable, frightening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what these boys can offer next season. I know it's going to be a long time between now and then, in terms of, because obviously once they finish this round of internationals, they will then have a break, so they'll go away and they will have a bit of respite and recuperation. Because I mean, let's face it, guys and girls, these guys are going to be sore. Their bodies will be aching by this point, and severely battered and bruised from the season just past. So, because let's face it, guys, winning trebles. I know we've made it look easy, but winning trebles, it's a very hard thing to do, and it's not an easy. It's not easy to keep it mentally strong and keep yourself physically ready and yeah. Yeah, Vincent, I'm with that, mate. Rolling on the new season, but we've got a wee while to wait, mate, because it doesn't start to the 5th of August. So, unfortunately, there's a good bit to go. Pre-season still to happen. We've got a Japanese tour to look forward to as well. Amazing. Can't believe what's coming for the club in terms of finances. Under the microscope, again, fantastic recognition. The only disappointment, I think, for quite a few people will be the fact that Big Ange isn't going to be the face of Celtic when the time comes. Yeah, Corvo, it's quite interesting, that, isn't it? You just kind of wonder how long it's going to be before um, he makes a comment. I've got a Rangers fan, mate. I'm not going to name him. I'm not naming and shaming him on here, but he texted me the other day. It was quite funny. He was bantering with me, and he says it'll not be long till he tells Kyogo that he's a Japanese granda. I had a wee chuckle at that one, folks, to be honest. Thought that was quite good. Uh, Paul Paul McKee again. What's the crack then? Is it defo regards Rogers? Yeah, it's certainly looking like that, mate. Yeah, it's kind of all the arrows are pointing in Brendan Rodgers' direction now. So yeah, I think it's looking likely that it's going to be him. I mean, let's face it, Paul. He's probably the outstanding candidate out of all the managers we've been linked with. Other managers are potentially a gamble. The fact that he's been here, he knows what it takes. He's won things with Celtic. Um, he, he's basically the man that made trebles a thing. He sort of started and it was a pioneer of. He made trebles become the norm, guys. Evening, Lindsay. Hope you're well, pal. Thanks for joining us again in this hot night. I understand that it can't be easy for folks, so thank you very much. Joseph, yeah, holding the fort, mate. Um, Ryan's, aye, Ryan's, um, Ryan's actually having to go through some major, major changes at the moment, mate. He's away trying to get that beard trimmed off his face. Aye, definitely. So, aye, but it'll be interesting to see the outcome of that. He tried to put milk on it, guys, and the cat just looked at him as if he'd three heads. So that wasn't happening. So he's now had to try a different tactic. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Ryan. We're here to talk about our team. But yeah, guys, for me, Rodgers is the most outstanding candidate. I was asked today, do we think that there'll be a lot of fans turning up? I I don't understand why there wouldn't be. Um, what what's to stop fans turning up at Celtic Park? You're bringing in an elite manager, an elite football brain. He's not only an elite manager, but he's a coach that improves people. And if he doesn't improve you, then obviously you will be moved on. Hi Scott, good evening, mate. Hail, hail. I started at half past. Well, it was after half past actually. I better tell the truth there because I was supposed to start at half past, but I had a wee technical difficulty before I came live. So yeah, mate. So it was supposed to be. Thanks, Anjem. Thank you. Um, thanks very much. You've not missed much. I definitely no. It's just people asking Scott. Really, it's just people asking about Rogers and then obviously a new guys joined us tonight, Paul. So I've just been chatting to those guys. John McCauley, I just seen your comment there. Are these conditions that Rogers got the board to agree to legit? What what conditions are you talking about, John? What are you referring to, mate? Uh, yep, Brian Rice has joined us from Facebook. Um, he says he's got to back him again. Not happy the way he left, but Ange isn't much better. I don't know. In terms of the way he left, Brian, I think if you look back and reflect on that one, mate, I think you'll see that, he totally obliterated Scottish football. At the time, our understanding is that his hands were slightly tied in terms of progressing the team forward and taking the team further. So I think at the time he must have thought at the time I had an inkling that I'm not able to take the team any further at the moment because if you look back, there was transfers that Brendan wanted to have sanctioned and they weren't sanctioned. Brian, Timothy Castagna, the boy Justin, he took both boys down to Leicester with him. I know he tried to get McGinn. I'm not too too clued up on how far down the line we entered talks for John McGinn. Only John McGinn would probably be able to answer that, Brian. But we missed the boat in certain moves and transfers, etc., for Rodgers. And I think that's why he decided to, at the time, he decided that moving back to the Premier League was probably the best move for him. The only consolation, the no consolation to us was he left when we were in the midst of trying to reach our ultimate goal, which was to win 10 in a row. That's what we wanted at the time. But in terms of what he done with the club, what he achieved with the club, I don't think, Brian, there's any grievances there at all, mate. He won an invincible treble, mate. He backed that up by winning another treble. And he set that one up and backed that up again to sending us on the way to winning another treble. And then Neil Lennon went on and won his own treble in his own right. So, yeah, he left the club in a good place as well in terms of the players. You've got to look at the talent he left. Boys like Edward, Aya, Christie, but he also made players better as well. And he got good investment in terms of Kieran Tierney. And so I'm excited this time round, Brian, for the simple fact that I think he's going to be able to attract a bigger pool this time because there's the shackles, as you want to call them, I think will come off. And I think you might see a couple of surprises, mate, in terms of recruitment because the way the club are going and the way things are moving, that's the next step. The next steps for us to go into the Champions League and take it, take us forward. So watch this space, Brian. And try and not get too bogged down in terms of Big Ange and the way Big Ange is left. Big Ange is left is in a great place, a fantastic place. Brendan Rodgers is actually inheriting a better squad now than what he did the first time round. And there's no bones about that, mate. So I hope you're well, Brian. Cheers for your comment, mate. Scott Howe, cheers. YouTube never notified me. I can only apologise for that, mate. I don't. Maybe it might be something to do with your settings, buddy. If your settings aren't set up properly, then you won't get notifications. But if they are, then happy days. John McCauley, you're talking about Europe, KPIs, etc. They were talking about it on Axom earlier. In terms of my understanding of it, John, is that Rodgers has been given assurances from Dermot Desmond, and he will be having a wee bit more in terms of a free rein to make decisions on his own recruitment. Very similar to Ange. Obviously, we're hearing reports that he could potentially be the highest paid ever manager to work in Scotland, which I find phenomenal. Absolutely. And yeah, we'll just need to wait and see, mate. But listen, two boys flew over to Mallorca to speak to him on a private jet. I don't think that was just to find out how his coffee was that morning, John. There'll definitely be probably assurances from either side because you don't go and bring a guy, an elite manager in like Brendan Rodgers again without giving him assurances and telling him, this is where the club's going, this is where we want things to go. But he will also have a vision that he'll want to take the club forward, mate. So I think, yep, you need to give him a bit of leeway there. Be a bit of time biding. But after that, mate, I think you'll see the fruits of. It'll be a quick transition, that's for sure. A seamless transition as well in terms of the playing style and, in terms of the players and the way they can adapt. Because the boys that are there will be able to adapt very quickly. Fairly quickly. But guys, yeah, obviously the PK, good evening, mate. How many seasons you give Rodgers at Celtic this time? I think it's fairly tough, PK, because I think personally this time round, I don't think he'll be in much of a hurry to go elsewhere, especially if he's getting the assurances that we believe he's getting in terms of being in charge more and making big calls and big decisions in terms of recruitment and everything else. I think you'll probably see a difference in him as well as a manager. Um, he'll not be in much of a hurry, even though managers are ambitious and they've got end goals as well for themselves, which is fine because these guys are normal guys. They've got families and the way they do things. But I think this time, mate, I think you can bet your boots. It's probably not going to be a 12-month rolling contract. And I'm pretty sure that like Dermot Desmond's a very clever man. So I would imagine Dermot Desmond seeked assurances that there could be a clause in his contract, PK, that he's not able to do what people were calling it the last time as a midnight flitting or a midnight money or down to Leicester or but I don't think Brendan's a silly man either. I think he knows that a big club like Celtic come champing the door and that he's not going to get much of a chance to manage Celtic more than once, and he's a lucky man to be in a position he is. So I think it's tough to say just now, mate, because he's not here yet. He's not been announced yet. But when he's announced, if that happens over the next 24, whenever it's going to be, um, you make no bones about it, mate. He's a manager that knows how to do the job, and he will have suitors once Celtic start being more successful. And if Celtic start making inroads in terms of the Champions League and are seen on the big globe that way, then he will have potential suitors. And the way the market runs down south, mate, managers are leaving jobs 10 a penny at the moment. So I would imagine he'll become a popular man again very, very soon. He's a massive name in football as well. So, like I says, he's an elite football manager. We'll be very, very lucky to have Brendan back as well. Us as a fan base need to realise we're in a very, very, very prominent position at the moment, and we are building on strength. Years past, we've probably not seen that with Celtic, PK. We've probably seen Celtic, being reactive rather than proactive. Now the club seems to be modernised. Like we've said on here before, mate, there's people in the right jobs, they're all in the right positions. So, yeah, I'd imagine it's, watch this space. But he's a very good football coach as well. Let's not get away from that as well, PK. That's what I'm excited for. You look at Jota, Abada, Kyogo, Matt O'Reilly. Brendan's got potential to make these guys even better than. I mean, we rhyme them off as superstars just now. They've just won a treble. Brendan's got the capabilities to go and make these guys proper stars, and then let them loose on the big stage. So there is no bones about it, guys. This guy's a top elite manager, elite, and I use that word very lightly normally, but this guy falls into that category, I'm afraid. Um, is he the manager yet? It's confirmed. No, well, it's not fully confirmed by any credible source at the moment. There is loads of talk saying it's at an advanced stage. It's been on Sky saying it's at an advanced stage. So we just need to wait and see, guys. I think personally, these deals don't just happen overnight, folks. They take weeks, months to get them delivered. So this isn't something that's just materialised. The media are probably getting the snippets of this stuff at the moment, but this has probably happened. I'm not naive enough. I know football, and I've been on this and played football as well, and I know how football works, and I know that these things would have been probably happened maybe even before Easter. So I would go as far as to say that Rodgers he's been spoken to way before that. So, um, But no, not as yet. He's not been fully confirmed. It's confirmed that we are at an advanced stage, and that's with the kind of mainstay media at the moment. But listen, guys, we all know the mainstay media's narrative as well. Anything to do with sales, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised this has gone relatively smoothly in terms of the link with Brendan and then the negotiations bit and then the almost signing. I'm really surprised that that things like Lennon used it when we were supposed to be after, as Ryan calls him, Big Bendy Devo from the Big Coos. He's now there, but at the time when we were linked with him, Ben Davis, and Lennon used the term that we got gazumped for him in terms of he went to Liverpool, which was a word I've never heard, and I was actually cringing when I actually heard the Celtic manager sit on TV and say that we got gazumped for a guy like Ben Davis. I've said it on here. You're better with Steve Davis, the snooker player, because they need snookers. So, in my opinion, they signed the wrong Davis. No, that's spot on, my man. Spot on, Ryan. He's an elite manager. Nobody will tell me differently. No, mate. Listen, I'm totally with you, mate. I can't. I can't speak highly enough of Rodgers. I think he's a he's the go-to candidate, guys. There's no bones about it. Who else is not a gamble? Who put it this way, guys? I'll ask you, right, because obviously you are here. Who else could you trust? Who could you fully say, right? We're, we're guaranteed this with this person, or we're guaranteed that with this person. And I'm talking about just the candidates just now that's been on the shortlist or supposedly on the shortlist. Yeah. So ask it all. Who else who else is trust without labelling that person a gamble? Who else would we say? We're guaranteed. Um, we're guaranteed this because with Brendan, you know what you're guaranteed: hard work, dedication, and the potential to be successful. That's guaranteed right now before we've even started pre-season, before he's even spoke to the squad. Why? Because he knows the Celtic captain really well. He's played under him, so right away he's going to have that buy-in. Brendan also knows the club, so Stephen, I'll come to your point in a wee minute, mate. Yeah, so I'll ask again. I'll ask, who else would would you would you be looking to? Who else would you say isn't a gamble? So it's, in my opinion, guys, it's a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer. Listen, we all have opinions. That's fine. That's totally fine. I get that, but that's a kind of rhetorical question I'm asking there because everyone else, um, or other people, like for example, Enzo Mariesca. Now this guy could be a top coach, right? We know next to nothing about the guy, apart from the fact that he's been a number two at Sevilla, um, West Ham, and now Man City. Obviously, he was a winner as a player. He won the Europa League, the UEFA Cup, or whatever it was called at the time. And he's now won it as coach. He's won the Champions League as a coach now at Man City. But I just get the overall feeling, folks. I don't know about anybody here. This is just me personally. That if Celtic were to announce Enzo Mariesca, I think it would be very underwhelming for a lot of season book holders and guys that followed Celtic for quite a considerable amount of years. Maybe not so much the younger guys because they'll probably see it as a fresh, new appointment. Yeah, it's a bit exciting, and it would be. But overall, it would probably be underwhelming. I know people have gave the Bodo Glimt manager a big shout and Knutsen. Again, guys, nothing's guaranteed with this guy because he's never left Norway. So again, you've got to look at that and the fact that he's never left Norway. So it would be, you know, it would be pretty much a gamble. You know, you don't know what you're guaranteed. As much as a guy, he's a fantastic football coach. I mean, you could see that once we played the Bodo team. In my opinion, Ange Postecoglou was, he was totally beat that night in terms of tactics and strategy and preparation and everything for that game. The two ties. Yeah, as I say, it was, and that's what happens. But for him to jump ship and come over here, again, Bodo Glimt, and I don't want to be disrespectful, he's made them into a very good unit, a very good side, but they're not the stature of Celtic. Celtic's one of the most iconic clubs in the world. I'm probably quoting a wee bit of Brendan Rodgers for his first time, but no, they are. And they're a total institution, a winning institution. They have been for many years. They're cloaked in success all over. We're now seeing, the ladies' team have just won a trophy. The reserve teams won trophies. It's not just the first team. It's not just the men's team. It's not the first team. They are cloaked in success right through the club. Why? Because they're run the proper way. They are run exactly the right way. The club has been modernised all round the whole spaceship, as I call it, the full shebang. So John says Knutsen looks a better option than Rodgers just because the weighing up his options says he's not 100% committed. There is, I think that, to be fair with you, John, I think there is a bit of miscommunication from that. I don't think he's weighing up anything at all. I think he's got his heart set. Brendan's got his heart set on coming back to Celtic. I think there's a media narrative, a small media narrative now that pushes Brendan that way. I saw yesterday it was supposedly linked with the Leeds job. It's now been rubbished. Again, the media will try and feed us any nonsense to try and it's all tactics. We've seen it for years to try and upset our fan base. They done this when the season we were going for a 10, and it worked. It go on neighbourhood. There was a lot of noise coming out the club and everything at that time, but I don't think anyone personally can say Knutsen's a better option than Rodgers. It's just that to me is because of the fact that Knutsen's only ever managed in one country. Brendan's been successful in the best league in the world. It's been branded the best league in the world. So for me, the Brendan Rodgers coming back to Celtic, that's the only link in terms of managers, guys, in my opinion, we've been linked with that is not a gamble. It's not a gamble. We've been linked to the young Farioli and the Francesco Farioli, Mariesca, Knutsen, Davy Moyes was linked with us as well for a small period of time there, and now obviously Davy's declared his love for West Ham and he'll stay on at West Ham, and probably the fact that he's won the Europa Conference League with West Ham probably buys him a bit more time, because you're hearing rumours that West Ham are potentially looking to move him on and bring somebody else in, and so again, I think Knutsen being Norway, certainly bringing him out of Norway might be, it's like taking somebody out of their comfort zone. Sink or swim. But we're in a position of strength, guys. So we can't say to somebody, sink or swim. What happens if they sink? And it happens pretty quickly. We've seen it with John Barnes. We've seen it with Tony Mowbray. These things happen very, very quickly in football. Couple of results, man, and you're boom, head's away, mind's gone. Players' minds are away. They're confused. They're getting miscommunication. It leads to it just snowballs. So I think from a position of strength, you build on that with what? Experience, know-how. We are renowned for having success with managers more than once. You look at Billy McNeil, Davy Hay, Neil Lennon. These guys have all had two goes at it, and they've done pretty well, guys. Evening, big man. How are you? It's good to see you. Very hot night. Evening, Kaiser. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, Ryan, totally, mate. That's one thing that it's probably the first thing you've ever said, mate. I believe. I'm only kidding. I'm only joking. Don't believe the press. Rodgers always been the main choice. I think, to be fair, I'm not daft enough and naive enough to think there wasn't other people on the list. However, Rodgers is probably he's the most outstanding candidate. He's just, for what he's won as a manager. He took Leicester to 5th place back to back. He took them to the last 16? He won the European competitions as well. They won the FA Cup. So, I mean, out with we can all say, people can say, the season they won the league was a fluke, right? It took all the other bigger teams, the higher spending teams, all to be rubbish in the same season for that to happen. But I said it wasn't a fluke because you can only beat what's in front of you, and you can only go and get the results that Leicester were consistent at doing under Ranieri. And all that dilly ding, dilly dong, that was all brilliant that season. And it just, it was just one of the remarkable seasons. But out with that, guys, Rodgers is probably one of their most successful managers. Again, since Martin O'Neill. So that's another reason, in my opinion, that makes him the most outstanding candidate. Yeah, Corvo, I've just seen your comment, mate. Highest paid manager in Celtic's history. Successful squad, great recruitment department. In Champions League, you would be a fool to turn that down. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. But that's what I was saying there, in terms of being in a position of strength. We're in a fantastic place, mate. He's going to be the highest paid manager ever to grace Scottish football. That's where that's heading. It's not just Celtic's history, but it's and again, guys, make no bones about it. This deal that Brendan's managed to get himself was the deal that they offered Ange to keep Ange. So Celtic tried to keep Ange with us, and obviously Ange is, he's an ambitious man. He's at an age now, guys, where the money that he's probably going to be receiving at Tottenham, he might never see it again. He's not far away from being 60. He's got a young family. You can't blame a guy for moving on, guys. You really can. He's obliterated Scottish football totally. The only downside of that is we're frustrated because we think Europe's the next one. We want to see us do this to get better in Europe. We all want that, but it shows you how proactive this club is, guys. Listen, we've replaced Ange Postecoglou, who next to none of us, had even heard of at the beginning. Ange then leaves. We're seeing reports that the club's in disarray. It's this, it's that. Guys, honestly, we're replacing Ange with a guy like Brendan Rodgers. That's where we are as a club. Let that sink in a wee moment. We're replacing Ange Postecoglou with Brendan Rodgers. That's where we are as a club. So when anybody questions you or tries to belittle it and, he's Bernie saying that when he was... Ask him to count his trophies, count his medals. He'll be there a wee while. I'm just trying to see. Paul, cheers for joining us, mate. Again, thanks for the comment, mate. Rodgers will be the Leeds manager by Monday. Paul, I hope you're not a Leeds manager, a Leeds fan, mate, or a Leeds scout or anything, mate. But again, mate, it's wishful thinking for Leeds. And again, mate, if that rumour, and that's all it is at the moment, rumours, because we don't know if that's reality. In terms of being linked to Brendan Rodgers, yeah, it's great ambition, but I'm afraid Celtic have dwarfed Leeds in this matter, mate. Leeds are in the Championship in England as well, which is going to be a fantastic league. For me, mate's in there as well, with Barry Bannon, if he's watching. Bazza, I'm looking forward to seeing you next season in there, mate. But again, it's going to be a fantastic league. Celtic are in the Champions League, guys. Sorry. Champions League's going to win it over anything at all. We don't need to qualify for the Champions League, guys. We're straight in. Big transfer kitty, big transfer budget, more money coming into the club. Frimpong's ready to move on. You're probably going to get a sell-on fee for him as well. Kieran Tierney moves, you're going to get money for him. So you don't even need, not even back for pre-season yet, and you're probably going to have money coming into the club. That's before we've even spent any money. And the money that we did under Ange was money that we were bringing into the club. Celtic never spent a penny under Ange Postecoglou. So it's exciting times, guys. Paul Cook, good evening, mate, and thank you very much for your hitting the subscribe button, mate. Hope you like the content, mate. This podcast is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, mate. So we're on around about 8:30. So hope you can tune in a wee bit more with us. There's usually more on, mate. But I decided to, again, it's a wee bit like my missus said she went back to see Take That when they brought back Robbie Williams. And she said it was like watching Robbie Williams with his backing singers. That's what it's like when I'm on with the boys. So watching me with my backing singers. I'm only kidding. I'm only joking. Big Bev, yep, I feel we're a better team physically, financially, an all-round squad. Yep. Yes. Totally agree with you, mate. Totally agree. Like I say, I don't know if you've no long just tuned in yourself, big man, but I'd say that about 15 minutes ago or so. I says that we're in, the squad strength is probably a better squad in terms of what he inherited the first time, mate. If you look at the squad, again, mate, these guys are professional footballers. I don't want to sit down anyone at all because I'm sitting in the house chatting about these guys. These guys are out making a living doing this thing every day. But, when you know football, you can see the level of player. And, we still had guys like Effie Ambrose playing in the club. Gary Mackay-Stevens, who, again, these guys they ended up moving on. Chris Commons, Charlie McGrew. These guys were coming to the end as well. And then obviously you probably, there was, I don't know if any of you remember at the time, there was, will Scott Brown stay? Will he do this? But Brendan took him to a different level, totally different level. My excitement here is for Callum McGregor, because now he's a Celtic captain. So what heights is he going to reach now? He's just turned 30, guys. So he's now at the peak of his career. So where is he going to go? What kind of football is he going to be able to play under Brendan? Because Brendan will open up in a different door for Callum McGregor. There's no doubt about it, guys. So it's exciting. It really, really is. Yeah, Michael. Again, mate, cheers for joining us. Brendan through the door. As long as we keep this squad another bulletproof season ahead of us. That would be good, mate. That'd be fairy tale stuff, I think, Michael, to be honest with you. It really, really would. To be honest, Michael, there obviously will be changes with the squad. I would imagine boys like, James McCarthy, boys of that canal will probably move on. There'll be young guys, probably Liam Scales, might move on to pastures new. By the way, I'm saying this, it could be a total surprise. Because in my opinion at the time, if any of you remember, I didn't think Chris Aya was going to cut it. I really didn't. He got loaned to Kilmarnock and I thought he just looks like a big raw boy. He came back and he just became in my opinion, that big long drive with a ball he used to be able to do and take the pressure off the team. And the team, when your teams couldn't press us when we had somebody like that. Because he used to just break the press. He could turn that way, he could turn that way, you know, he was dominant in the air. Big physical boy. Obviously, he developed that after a bit of time, but at the time, he was a bit raw. And so, again, Michael, as much as I've said there, Liam Scales might move on, he might not. But you're experienced watching Celtic and you see normally how they do business, I think guys like James McCarthy will probably move on. You're probably looking, I wouldn't like to see it, but you're probably looking at guys like maybe Davy Turnbull moving on. I don't think he suits that style to the way Brendan likes to play. Brendan likes to play that pivot, but that pivot's got to be fast and get across the pitch. And Davy he couldn't do it under Ange overall. He started off pretty well, but then when you look at the recruitment in terms of Hatate and O'Reilly, they just blew him out of the water. There's a lot of chat going on now. Will Aaron Moy be able to continue? We don't know. But it's boys like Bernaby and, lads like that I'm looking forward to seeing under Rodgers, because Rodgers is a phenomenal development coach. He gets the best out of people. He makes people believe in themselves. And that's what I'm looking forward to, guys. That's the bit that I'm cherishing most about this guy coming back to the club. I don't know about anybody else, but the excitement overall and what kind of draw this guy's going to bring, because he's got a lot of contacts in the game, boys and girls. He's going to bring a big, right away, he brings a following in terms of eyes and ears and so there'll be people in England, the English Premier League will be tuning into Scottish football again the way they did the first time, because he's up here. There's no bones about it. Even at what we would call the Glasgow Derby, there'll be more eyes on that as well. People's probably switched off in terms of, but Ange probably brought a lot, in terms of the football Ange was playing, how relentless they were, and he's probably brought a lot of eyes back to that, but there'll be more eyes on it, guys. And you said, no, you ain't, JP. You've lost me there. I'm sorry. Just be chatting there. I've maybe forgot what I said a moment ago there. So again, and if you're still watching us, can you allude to your point there for me, Kaiser? Yeah, I managed to turn the sun off, mate. Cheers, mate. As it happens, I managed to turn the Daily Record and the Evening Times off as well, mate. I'm getting sick of a lot of them, to be honest with you. So, aye, I'm as Francis Lester says, you're a week here. I'm a man of many talents. I was catching flies in here as well. The only thing I didn't do is do it with Mr. Miyagi for the karate kids used to do with the chopsticks. I can't do that, guys and girls, before you ask. Plunge, you've says the big boy Auden Home is similar to Ayer. He's not, mate, because he's a midfielder. Ayer was a defender. I know what you mean in terms of carrying the ball, but he's a midfielder. He's probably a faster version of Hatate. It's probably the best way I can describe the boy. And his numbers are frightening. He's only 20, he's just turned 20, and his numbers are scary. I read something today, guys, and if anybody can correct me, I will stand corrected. The boy home that we're bringing from Norway, Brendan tried to sign the boy at Leicester. So again, I don't know if much in that at all, but I do know that Brendan tried to take him to Leicester. So you take for that what he's want. I don't know if this is part of the early recruitment, maybe happening the way Brendan wasn't long in the door the last time, and Big Mr. Dembele signed for us, and so recruitment doesn't stop, guys. People think we're not got a manager, how are we signing players, but recruitment doesn't stop. Matt Lawwell's phone will be switched on, probably volume turned up full, and it'll be a busy period for that side of the club at the moment because they'll still be moving forward. As we've seen with Stevie Hamill coming in to the academy as well, so which I think is a remarkable appointment, by the way. I really, really do. I know guys that speak really highly of Stevie, and that they have says that we're very lucky to have a guy like that now represent the club. Just take a wee drink, guys. I'm a wee bit parched. And right, okay, so it's in regards to my take that comment. Well, listen, everybody's entitled to an opinion. I've got mine, you've got yours. As we all know. I'm actually surprised, guys. I've got to 53 minutes here. I'm actually surprised that Danny's not been on talk about gammon steaks again. I'm quite surprised. He must be busy. Maybe he's doing a barbecue and maybe he's cooking gammon steaks. Ryan, if you're still watching, mate, I hope he does get a couple of gammon steaks on the go one time for us, mate, and invites us to it. Definitely. But yeah, guys. Obviously, I'm coming to the end of what I was wanting to chat about today. I've ended up getting sidetracked, as you do, plenty of times on here. But that's fine. Again, anybody that's not seen them, go and have a look at the Japanese training videos. You just type it into social media, guys, and you can see Kyogo, Hatate, and Maeda, and they look pretty sharp. Considering what they've just been through, they, they, they look pretty sharp. They really, really do. Definitely. But G-Mac, I'm not too sure who your comments are for, mate. If you want to let us know in another comment, you can. That's great. Aye, Francis, he will do, mate. He'll probably be slipping into that. Ross, nice for you to join us, mate. I, I don't know if you've just tuned in, mate, but I've spent the last nearly 50 odd minutes chatting about Rodgers. He's an elite football manager, mate. He's the most outstanding candidate for us, and it's a no-brainer in my opinion, mate. So yeah, definitely. But again, guys, if anyone's just tuned in, we've gone over the Rodgers chat tonight and probably then some as well. So yeah, it's just a wee joke, mate. Okay, all right. By the way, G-Mac, I probably resent your first comment then, to be honest with you. Saying I always look the agent. Do you know what? Do you know why it is, by the way? Hold on a wee second to clear my throat, folks. G-Mac, just, I've actually heard that a couple of times, right? And, aye, fair dues. Like I says, everybody's got an opinion, guys. That's totally fine. G-Mac, to be fair with you, I don't know how often you tune into the podcast or how often you watch me, or because to be honest, I don't remember seeing your name pop up in the comments that often. But I'm glad you have tonight, mate. I really am. As I say, we appreciate all the support we get, guys. We really, really do. But to be fair, when I'm chatting about football, I probably look a bit more serious because I have got to, when you're chatting, um, it's it is serious. I know, I know we do. You're a lurker, fair enough, fair dues, mate. I know a few people like that, mate. So you're not alone in that boat. But no, as I said, it's when I'm chatting about football, I treat that seriously. I really do, because especially when you're on here, you've got to, when you're chatting about what you're chatting about, you've got to do it, guys. You've got to be serious. We do try our best to have a good bit of laugh and a bit of banter as well. So you're probably just tuned in, mate, I do have a big smiling face, mate. You're probably, if you're a lurker and you've not really seen much of us, again, mate, you can get into the playlist section on the YouTube and have a wee look there, mate. So definitely, there's a couple of wee Francis. You've done well, JP. Just did a wee text. JP saying Rogers announced tomorrow. Who texted you? Was it Ryan? I'm only kidding, mate. That's magic. Listen, me and Ryan have already spoken about this at length. You'll probably see us doing cartwheels down the Celtic Way tomorrow. Hopefully, if that's the case. I'm only kidding. It's probably not a good sight, guys, to even put that in your mind. So I'll delete that comment. Right, I never said that. You never heard that from me. Ryan, he's missing me. That's why he's raging. Missing you like a sore head, mate, to be honest with you. At least tonight I've been able to get a word done. I've not had the sound of your Jimmy Calderwood rosary beads rattling about in your pocket there, waiting for something to say. When you know you're always chomping at a bit, you're like away in a sweetie shop, man. But, nah, I'm only kidding, mate. You know I always miss you when you're not here, mate. But take as long as you need, mate. Add on to your holiday at the other end if you want, mate, and yeah. And football and reading comments can't be easy when you're on your own. That's true. Yeah. Fortunately for us, and we're fully blessed by it, we do get a lot of comments rapidly. So I do apologise, guys, again, if I've not been able to, respond to a point that you've made or, you know, put your comment up on the screen. It's just because everybody comments and they come through quite fast. And the way that this works, it happens rapidly. So, but Robert, thank you very much, mate. Cheers again. Listen, like I says, mate, we fully appreciate every bit of support we get. We fully appreciate you guys getting behind us. We fully appreciate the 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 fact that we've managed to reach for target, which is we set a target in the January window, Robert, of 1,000 subscribers, mate, and we managed to do it. So we were live on Monday night when it happened, and again, guys, it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for yous. When myself and Ryan started doing this, we were a bit anxious. We were a bit, we didn't know how this was going to go. And honestly, you guys make this a whole lot easier. You really, really do. And we love the banter. We love you guys now tuning in and, commenting. And you know what kind of characters me and Ryan are. And, the guys that are on here. And it's great. Long may it continue. We hope our audience manages to grow. And we can get more people tuning into us. That's the aim for us. The more the merrier. There is changes happening for the podcast on the way. There will be announcements over the next couple of weeks, guys, in terms of changes happening for the podcast. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, guys, we will continue to bring these a podcast Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But definitely, Stubby's horse, JP. I've been told I've got a resting face that could reignite Chernobyl. My godly insight. To be honest, mate, I think you're maybe alone in that because nobody's ever says that about my big resting face. Definitely no. A couple of other things have definitely been said, but nobody's ever says that because well, if they have, I wasn't there. So, but again, mate, cheers for the comment, cheers for tuning in. Magic. This is what makes this pod the best interaction from. Listen, Francis, that was what we set out to do. There was, it's for the Celtic fans. We're all Celtic fans. During COVID, we didn't have a voice. It seemed there was a lot of disarray, and there was a lot of disconnection between the club and the fan base. So when we came up with this idea, that was the idea. So that you guys have obviously got a voice. It's got to be within reason, though. Like most of the points on here are really good. So, and a lot of guys know football and stuff. But if it was something silly, then for obvious reasons we wouldn't entertain it. But no, it's it's totally that's what it's all about. This is for you guys. We do this for we do this for you. We love doing it. Myself and Ryan. We love chatting about Celtic. We love, it's became a big part in my life, but it's not the single factor in my life, but it's became a big part of my life. Definitely. Sean and Mac, cheers again for joining us, mate. Great pod, JP, one of the best. Thank you very much, mate. Seriously. Again, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. Ian McIntosh, JP would happily talk about Celtic no matter how many viewers, but yeah, well, that's it, mate. If I'm in the house myself, mate, I'll sit and have a conversation. It's mental. Honestly, that's just the way. I'm not used to doing it now. You, it's frightening. It's no hard. We all love Celtic, and that's what we associate. So yeah, as I say, it's all good, guys. But as I say, guys, there's a few announcements that's coming up for the podcast. One that I'm going to put on the running bar just now for you guys. The Celtic Unrestricted View are holding a fundraising night. It's the 28th of July. It's a Friday. And it's from 7:30 p.m. till 12 p.m. And it's in bar 1888 on the London Road, guys. The tickets are £2 entry fee. On the night, there will be the podcast will be live, so we won't be on YouTube that night. We'll be in that pub doing the podcast live that night. So again, if anyone wants to see us, they would need to come along and see us there. So we'll be doing a podcast that night. There'll be entertainment and a DJ as well. There'll be raffles, prizes, lots going on. Yeah, as I say. So that's Friday the 28th of July. Again, guys, if anybody wants tickets at all, please reach out to the podcast directly. You can do that on the community page. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Celtic Unrestricted View. The tickets probably won't be available until the weekend or just after this weekend. But after that, guys, yeah, get in touch. And we're going to have a good night, definitely. We're looking forward to it. And again, guys, it'd probably be good to see some of you face to face as well. It really would, because obviously we just see a name or, you know, a photo. Sometimes we don't even know who the person is. Like, accounts will come up and we'll not know if it's a male or female. So, you Kaiser, you just contact myself or Ryan, mate. We'll put you right, mate. But I say again, mate, you'd probably be as well waiting till after the weekend to we get the tickets sorted and obviously printed for folk. Once that happens, then we can start organising how we go about getting it to you and stuff. But yeah, guys, looking forward to it. It's Friday the 28th of July, 7:30 till 12. Lots happening, lots going on. Can't wait, guys, honestly. But again, guys, it's been a total pleasure sitting here having a chat with you. It really, really has. And again, I thank every single one of you for comments. I thank every single one of you for taking the time to sit here and just watch myself having a chat. I really do. Can't be easy in this warm weather. So, again, guys, it's been a pleasure. And hail, hail, guys. Take it easy.
Songs of hope and joy, join us hand in hand, all across this ancient land, throughout the test of time. It was music that kept the spirits free, those songs of yours and mine. For those who are in love, there's a song that's warm and tender. For those who are oppressed, in song you can't protest. So liberate your mind and give your soul expression. Open up your heart and I'll sing for you this song. Let the people sing the stories and the songs and music of their native land. The lullabies and battle cries, the songs of hope and joy, join us hand in hand.
Well, alright lads, Guten Tag.